What is going on, guys? Tony here, coming at you with the first installment of the Kensei matchup guide. Now you may be asking, if this is the Kensei matchup guide, why are you with Warden in a bot practice mode? Well, I think half of the battle of knowing a matchup is knowing what the enemy skill set and moveset is. So basically, this first part of the video, I'm going to show you what Warden has, what he has to offer, some of his mix-ups, and what you can expect to do there, so therefore you better understand the character as a whole, and then can hopefully do a little bit better with him in the matchup. And then after that, we'll move on to some gameplay, me showcasing how I deal with Wardens. Now, in a real game mode, it's not going to be as perfect as you want it to be. Obviously, people play differently, people have different styles, but I just want to kind of show you guys some of the basic things and some stuff to look for when facing a Warden that maybe will help you out in the long run. So with Warden, his main little poke right there is his top light, and it's the fastest attack, I believe, in the game, and it's really fast, and if somebody spams it out and you go for top lights yourself, he can get his crushing counter little thing where it does a crap ton of damage. So that's another thing to look out for. In addition to this, he has his zone attack, which is very quick. So to deal with these, I like to keep my guard on the top and the left, because the zone, he spins around and it hits you on the left side. So if you keep yourself postured on the left side, you won't have a risk of those, and then you can switch pretty quickly to your top guard when with Kensei. So that's something to look out for. Now we'll take a look at Warden's vortex spam. So he can cancel it, he can go in, get his free double right there, or he can charge it up and he gets a free heavy. He gets a free top heavy off of that. So just a couple things to look for. Always in the first round, play just normally, kind of feel your opponent out, see what they try to do. If they go for a lot of feints, if they just go for random attacks, it's very important to know their initial playstyle to know how to react. If somebody's going for a lot of feints, you're not going to be wanting to try to parry that often, because they'll most likely catch you when you're trying to feint as well with a guard break and then do some really good damage on you. So personally, if you see Wardens, most of them will go in, do their double thing, keep going in, and then they'll probably switch for a guard break. This is pretty difficult to telegraph as Kensei. When you get his initial little dash right there, it's pretty easy. You can dodge out with his swift strike to the right or to the left and usually get some damage off. But if he comes in and then goes for the guard break, it is a lot harder to telegraph. So that is something that you really need to look out for. Like I said, the first round, see if your opponent does like a specific set of the chain and when he goes for the guard break. What I notice a lot of people do is they'll go in for one, and then the second one go for the guard break. So just feel your opponent out, see what they're doing there, and then you might be able to just withstand and then go for any counter play. Now, when he's in that little mode right there, he can be attacked and interrupted, but as you see right here, when I start flashing silver like this, it's hyper armor, like on steroids. So not just like how, you know, Shigoki, he has his hyper armor, you hit him once and he doesn't have any status effect, he doesn't flinch or anything, but if you hit him again, then it does that. With this, Warden can take as many attacks as he wants, and he will not actually break this stance, and then he'll still be able to get into you and then get, you know, almost 2 bars of health from a top heavy right there. So you need to be very cautious to see if somebody is going to go in there, and then once you actually get into that hyper armor stance, you can no longer switch it up. So you can't cancel it, is pretty much what I'm saying. Once you hit that, you won't be able to cancel it, so you know that your enemy is going to be going in for that play. Now, there's a little bit of difficulty as for timing when you go for the guard break right there. Now, when somebody's doing that to you, you're going to want to dash almost kind of early as soon as he starts going. So right there, you would, as soon as he starts moving forward, you want to dash, because you can get your swift strike off and be able to get a free side light on him. But if you dash like right when he's about to get in your face and you start your swift strike, you'll start your swift strike ever so slightly, you'll move like this far to the right, and he'll be able to still guard break you, and then he'll be able to, you know, do whatever he wants, get a free side heavy, which is the most optimal thing that Wardens can do. So those are some things that you need to be looking forward when going against a Warden. The Kensei Swift Strike is going to be absolutely optimal and probably one of the best things to do if you find yourself against a spamming Warden. And like I said earlier, watch for feints. Most of the time, Wardens don't go for just straight up side heavies or top heavies unless they're confirmed, because they are very slow. Specifically as top heavy, that is, you can parry that all day, every day. So just be maintaining your Swift Strike right there, and then try to feint yourself a little bit and go for guard breaks as well, and that should be able to do a little bit. Now, as I stated before, looking for feints with Warden is very important. So one of the actual combos that I see a lot of people do is, let's say they go in and they get you for a guard break. They'll do that right there. So basically what it is, they'll dash, do the guard break, get their free side heavy, and then he does like a cool little animation where you line up the other heavy where he spins around, and it actually makes it feel like the heavy's going to go through, but they feint it a lot of the time and go back in for the guard break. So if you guys didn't quite catch that, I'll do it again. So you basically come in right here like that. So you have to be wary of something like that, because that'll do half of your health right there just with one quick combo. So don't try to parry as much if you see that your opponent is going for those types of moves, because it'll make it a lot difficult for you, and you'll most likely end up losing the rounds because his heavies will just put out too much damage for you to deal with. Alright guys, so this part I'm going to hop into a custom match with a level 3 Warden bot to show you some of the important things that you should be looking for in each duels, from attacking and a movement standpoint, as well as blocking and parrying, okay? So we'll hop in real quick and then I'll show those off. Alright, so the first thing we're going to be looking at is the timing of your actual Swift Strike on his dash. So we'll wait for him to actually go up and try to use it. See right there, right at the beginning. That's when you want to use it. Right as he starts to move towards you. Right there, right at the beginning. Right at the beginning. That's just what you want to make sure your timing's on. That way, if he does, he'll be able to maybe get a block off if he cancels it. That's one thing you need to look for. If he actually cancels his charge, he will have maybe the opportunity to parry if he becomes wary that you're actually dashing out of his charges. The next thing we'll look at is actually deflecting some of his light attacks. So as I've mentioned before, Kensei, if you dash in the direction of an attack as it's happening, you will get a free guard break because your opponent will be staggered and won't be able to recover in time. So we'll try to do some of these here, hopefully on some of the light attacks. One right there, just kind of show it. I deflect off of it. He's staggered, he's not able to do it. Those are heavies though. Right there, there's another one. So you basically can throw those out if you find that he's spamming a lot of light attacks, and it confirms a guard break so you can actually get damage on him, because fighting against Wardens can be annoying, but some little things that Kensei has to offer can actually help you out quite a bit. Alright, the third thing is kind of two things in one, and that is going about feinting your attacks. Now, if you feint your attack, your Warden will actually most of the time be able to get a light attack off from the top because it's so quick. So if you're feigning right there, the time that it takes to actually do things right there, he can interrupt a lot of your combos with his light attacks. So when I say feint, most of this time when I actually play against people, I like to do my top feint into top light, and that is not as effective against Warden for his because he has his little crushing thing. Let's see if he actually gets it. I'll actually just attack him from the top. Let's see if he gets it. Right there. So that thing does a shit ton of damage. So if you have a Warden who's actually playing good and can actually get down what you're doing, feigning your top lights, although they are very good, you may want to try to switch some things up. Alright guys, so yeah, that was just kind of the section of things to show what to do that's important with your movement and attacks against the Warden. Right now I'm going to hop and do just a couple of duels that I've had saved up against some Wardens to where I do some good things and we're able to come out with the victory. They might not always be the cleanest, but we get the job done, and that's all that matters. Please let me know in the comments if you would like me to put anything else into the next hero matchup guide, specifically if you want actual damage numbers or speeds or confirms with each hero that you're facing. Just let me know and I will be sure to do it. I'm still trying to test in this idea. I think that this is how I want to do it. So without further ado, guys, let's hop into the duels, and hopefully you guys pick up a thing or two.
Can't fly, can't fight, but we got one chance, do right. Life's tough, but just dance through nights and know that you can find the